prosperity is all inside of me. I got a millionaire. I got a millionaire. I got a millionaire mind. I got a millionaire mind. I say yes. I say yes to success. I got a millionaire mind. I say yes. I say yes to success. I got a millionaire mind. I say yes. Oh, I say yes to success. I got a millionaire. You got a millionaire. I got a millionaire. You got a millionaire. I got a
John Tellerico can take you to a place inside yourself that you can't go by yourself.
How you doing, Brian? Good to see you again.
I thank you for having me.
Listen, if you're going through something in life, man, and you look and you don't feel like you actually moving with passion and whatever your endeavors are, reach out to my man John. You know what I'm saying? He got some great perspective.
John Tallarico is without question one of the most beautiful human beings that I have met in the whole 60 years. And he happens to be, without question, the most generous person. He is the star in our company, an absolute star.
John is one of the best coaches out there.
John in my life is a coach, a mentor, and someone who I truly value a lot. He's changed my life. I know he can change yours as well.
Glad to join you. Thank you for having me, John, and thank you all for the rest of you for joining me. I appreciate the opportunity to share with you. And
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to day 2 of Networking Secrets. I am back again. My name is Fernanda. I am the COO of The Million in You, and I am beyond excited to be back here with you guys today. We have such an amazing day planned ahead. You're going to be learning everything that we learned yesterday. We're going to add a layer to everything. So it's going to be a phenomenal day. But before we get started, we do have a few reminders I want to make sure that I'll cover with you all so you can get the most out of today. The first reminder is your phone. If you have a phone nearby, make sure that you put it in silent, do not disturb, turn it off. Make sure that you do not get distracted, because everything that we're sharing with you has really changed and transformed John's lives, my life, and a lot of his clients as well. And I know that he can do the same thing for all of you. And so make sure that you put all of your attention into today. Make sure that you get rid of distractions and give yourself the gift of undivided attention today. All right, the second reminder is about the homework. We posted the link yesterday. We're going to post the link again today in the chat. And make sure that you do it. Make sure that you take the time. Make sure that you give yourself that time and that space to really think through the questions and answer the questions in the best way possible. This homework was really planned to have you go through and think about things that you normally don't think about, and have you really go through and understand what is keeping you from developing the connections that you want, or the dreams a reality in your life, basically. And so make sure that you complete the homework. Once you complete the homework, please post it in our Million in You Facebook group or post it in your wall. And please, please, please also tag us so we know that you have completed it. We are giving you feedback on the homework. So please tag us so we know that you completed it and so we can also get back to you with feedback. If you can complete the homework by tonight or tomorrow in the morning, again, tag us, and that way we can take the weekend to get back to you guys with feedback. That would be amazing. Let's see what other announcements I have. I see still a lot of Abby's. So if you look in your screen and you see your name as Abby Fosdick, please change it. You can click on the 3 little dots that are right above your square, your picture, and you can rename yourself. So please, if you see Abby as your name, please rename yourself. That way we can call you by your name or we know who we are talking to. Let's see. The last announcement is the giveaway. So we're going to be giving a giveaway tomorrow. The giveaway is for the most engaged, the person that is really participating the most, completing the homework, showing up here, commenting, responding. And so if you want the opportunity to win the group coaching program, which is a $1,000 program for absolutely free, make sure that you show up and you stay engaged. We're going to be calling the winner tomorrow during our last session of the 3-day event, but we do have a couple of bonus sessions Saturday and Sunday. This is going to be at 12 noon EST. So please make sure that you do join us for those bonus sessions Saturday and Sunday. We're going to be talking to a couple of our clients about their amazing results. I think that's about all I have about announcements. John is going to be talking to all of you today about how to connect to your $1 million network. And also he's going to be giving you the formula for success. John, for anyone who may be new to him, he is an amazing results coach. He really helps his clients really bridge the gap from what they want and where they are to where they want to be. And he helps really after week after week after week, give you the tools and the resources and everything. And so through everything that he's been able to learn and apply in his life and teach his clients and his community, he's going to be sharing a lot of those, the same tools and the same resources and the same knowledge and the same information for all of you today. So make sure that you pay close attention, make sure you take a lot of notes. And without further ado, John.
All righty. Thank you, Fernanda. Thank you very much. Welcome again, everybody. Super excited. Day number 2. I see a lot of familiar faces from yesterday. Welcome back. For those of you over on Facebook in the Million in You Facebook group, welcome to you over there as well. We are over in a private room on Zoom. And so I'm super excited for day number 2. Again, a couple things before we get moving. If you guys will, I don't know what happened. We had a little technical glitch, but if you could, I see 1, 2, 3. There's still 3 of you. In your name, if you will click on your name, move your mouse over that, you'll see 3 little dots in the upper right-hand corner. If you just push the mouse, scroll down to see it says rename, put your real name in there so I can recognize you. And so that we got you all making sure that we know who you are and taking part. All right, now we're down to 2. Great, you guys. Second thing is, we shared with you yesterday, for those of you who were not here, also the replays are available until next week. You can find those in the guide section of the Million in You Facebook community. And let me know. Also, we had people from all over the world joining us yesterday. Let me know in the chat real quick where you guys are calling in from. I already see Pennsylvania here. I see some people from Toronto. Welcome to our clients, past and present. I see Germany is here. Charlotte, like I said, this is really a global audience. We put together something for you as well. This is your Networking Secrets Bible. It's your handbook. It's your workbook. It really is a blueprint for these 3 days that are going to get you. It's worth at least 6, 7 figures. I truly believe that. We have applied the same principles and strategies that I'm going to be sharing again with you today and the ones I shared yesterday and also tomorrow to be able to build our 7-figure coaching business. And that was with no experience and no leads. So I know if we can do it, you can. So make sure that you take a lot of notes. I found that when you write stuff down, it is 25% more likely to happen. So take this week serious as if your life depended on it, because it does, right? Because we want to go after what you truly, really want. And this week is about getting you the results that you've wanted in your life. It's about unveiling and revealing the secrets to networking to build a powerful group, a community of joint venture partners, of relationships with millionaires, billionaires, celebrities, you name it. If you do not have the workbook, let us know in the chat. Abby and Fernanda are standing by to help you out. The link is also in the chat over there. And Bernice, we're putting in there. Luxman, great to see you from Geneva, Toronto, Philadelphia, New York City. Everyone is well represented here. I am over here and with Fernanda in wonderful Gilbert, Arizona. And a quick shout out to also the team, my team. They are absolutely amazing. They work endlessly behind the scenes, you guys, for you and to help you really to be fully prepared, to give you everything that we know will help you get where you want to be. So huge thank you to Fernanda, Pamela, Abby, Maya, amazing job, just so blessed. And also for those of you who've been with me for a while, Donato and Tanya and Selena and everyone else that's been such a huge instrumental part, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. All right. Again, let me see. Everyone's changed their name. I think one person is left. If you'll just click on those 3 dots and change your name. Again, a huge hello to our friends over on Facebook who are tuning in. Welcome, everybody. Today is day number 2. We're going to be talking about today how to build an unstoppable plan for success by developing, creating a self-image that is undeniable, unbreakable, and really unsinkable in what you truly, really want. And that requires you to develop a self-image of somebody who is fully confident, has a certainty, has a clarity about them, that they know where they're going, that they know it's already done, that the minute they decide it, that they can have it, and that they can build and create a network of their dreams. They can build and create the income that they want, anything that they want. And this works for everything in your life. Success really is, as I shared yesterday, it really is a system, 95% of which is around your mindset and 5% around the strategy. You know, I spent years focused on the how, right? Worried about how am I going to get it done, the strategy, who do I need to, what do I need to do, rather than change what I was thinking. Thankfully, I was able to meet 2 people who really changed the trajectory of my life and was able to be mentored and taught by the greats, the legends. And that's what's possible for all of you. I made a decision when I went and heard Bob Proctor speak that I wanted him to teach me and mentor me. I heard him speak about if I could just shift a word he called my paradigms, which I came to find out were my mental habits, that my whole life would change, and it certainly has. And then I heard from and also worked with the great legendary Les Brown, who was able to help me craft my message, get inspired, get reignited about what I truly love to do, which is to help all of you, which is dedicate my life to helping teach people to overcome and to achieve the life of their dreams, to create that income, the wealth, the health, the happiness that they truly, really want. And I realized that I was able to help people by what we call at our company is called The Million in You. And we believe that everyone has that million in you inside of them. It's that one unique thing you do better than anyone else on the planet. And what we do is we help people achieve their goals and dreams by sharing with them the same strategies and techniques that I'm sharing with you here today, the ones we shared yesterday. And we focus on 3 core things. The first one we talked about, actually we touched on all 3 of these yesterday. And let me just review for those of you who weren't with me yesterday. Let me see. I see a couple familiar names. And for those of you watching on the replay, welcome. Again, some of you may be hearing me speak for the very first time and may not have heard me speak at all, may not even know me. So let me just briefly share a little about myself. 2 minutes, really. My name, obviously, is John Tellerico by now. I am, like Fernanda said, like to call myself a results coach, because at the end of the day, that is the name of the game. You are here all to get results. And when clients work with us, they come to us and they entrust us with giving them the tools and techniques and strategies and the right information to get them the results that they want. And so that's what we do. Been helping people learn the power of networking and success for the last decade. We have clients in 26 countries. And in the last 2 years or so, we've been able to build our 7-figure business, working with the legendary Bob Proctor. He unfortunately passed away this February 3rd, but we've been able to really help people achieve their dream life. And so I shared yesterday briefly, I grew up in Flint, Michigan, a very small town with no connections. And so I know if I can do this, any of you can. All right, that's a little bit about me. Now, what we do at The Million in You, as I said, we focus on 3 core things. As we talked about yesterday, the core, the foundation to building a powerful network starts with not doing certain things, but it actually starts by thinking certain things. And we shared yesterday that we actually have to start by changing our thinking. Once we do that, and once we figure out how to apply the right information, Then we can move on to crafting the right message. And I asked you all yesterday, what is it that you really want? What do you tell yourself that you want? Are you telling yourself what you think you can get? Or are you telling yourself what you truly, really want in your heart? And we have to have a goal. We talked about yesterday changing the frequency to move just like a radio station to the frequency of success. You can have any kind of network you want. Some of you, if most of you saw the introductory video, I've been able to build a very amazing, powerful network using what I shared with you yesterday, and I'll share it again today. People like Jack Canfield, Brian Tracy, Akon, Grant Cardone, Les Brown, Bob Proctor, millionaires and billionaires, and amazing, amazing people just like you and me, just regular people who want something more out of life. And so I want to share that with you today. And so the second thing we talked about yesterday was having a very clear goal. We called it a C-type goal. And the purpose of a goal, you'll remember, is not to get something. It's to cause you to grow. It's to bring out something inside of you. It's to cause you to stretch, to pull out of those things that you thought weren't even in there. And then the third thing, once we got clear on the right kind of thinking, we then got clear on our goal. We wrote out our goal, our C-type goal in a very certain way. And we talked about how do you then now build the right kind of network. So I believe that success comes down to one thing. It comes down to relationships. We're all in this together. And so while we're here, let's help each other out. Let's push each other and help each other out. Right? So let me see here. I want to know in the chat, what is one thing that you guys would love to know about or want about networking? Who is the one person that some of you would like to meet? Let me know in the chat. Who is that one person that if you met them in the course of these next 12 months would change everything for you? Channing says, Mark Cuban. Welcome back, Channing. And before I forget, I want to take a moment to recognize Kimberly. Kimberly, I believe your last name is Harden, right? Kimberly, amazing job on the homework. We posted the homework for you guys. And Kimberly, you did an amazing job. Now, make sure all of you do the homework and then tag us inside and let us know that you did it inside the Facebook group. All right? Saj Guru, great. John and Tamara Lundgren. Sonia, you guys, I have a very special guest in the house this evening. I'm blushing a little bit because I'm just so honored and privileged. If you don't know her, you need to know her. She is absolutely amazing. One of the most amazing people on the planet. One of the top in the personal development space. One of my dearest friends. Sonia Riccati, welcome. She is in the house, people. This is a true blessing. This, for me, makes the day. Really, welcome, Sonia. So glad that you're here to support us and join us. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's if you do not know her work, you want to make sure, one, you find out about Sonia, and two, make sure you watch her movie Unsinkable. It is absolutely life-changing and transformational. She put that whole thing together herself. And so I'm truly blessed and touched, as all of you should be, to have her here with us today. So welcome, Sonia. All right, back to what I was saying. How do we now build a powerful network of people that can help us reach our goals and dreams? And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Because the minute you make a decision that you're going to create that network, and you see a lot of love for Sonia's movie, yes, welcome. Unsinkable, blushing, I love it. Awesome. Sonia's getting a lot of love, as she should, in the chat. And so again, Unsinkable, make sure you guys see that movie. All right. So as I was saying, right, make sure you do the homework. I was actually acknowledging and recognizing Kimberly Harding for doing the homework and posting it inside of the group. We talked yesterday about the top 3%. What is it that they do? They think, act, and operate in a very certain way. There's no secret. You know, the secret is we become what we think about. But guess what? We talked about paradigms yesterday and talked about what those were. They're actual mental habits. They do things that other people don't want to do. Now, we invited all of you to do this homework. And yes, we want you guys to do it by tomorrow, but take action. Take the time to download it and make sure you do it. I promise you, you will find a huge shift once you do that homework and answer the questions that we have designed in there for you. But the successful people, the ones who build those powerful networks, the ones who achieve the results that they want in life, they do so because they're what? Able. They ask themselves, am I able to do what I want? They have a very clearly defined goal. They said, yes, I'm able. Two, am I willing to do what it takes? And they're willing to do the things that other people don't want to do to get what they want. They're willing to not listen to excuses. They're willing to live their lives from the inside out. They're willing to get up an extra hour early. They're willing to spend 30 extra minutes today to go do that homework and print it out. They're willing to go through the workbook and do the exercises in there. And they're willing to be undeniable and unstoppable in what they truly, really want. Now, the one thing that they have in place, first and foremost, is they have a goal. They have a very specific goal, as we encourage all of you to do. All right. Now, today, as I said, is all about building that unstoppable self-confidence and creating a self-image. And so before we get to that, let me just quickly review. I'm going to pull up some slides that I shared with you all yesterday. Let me just grab those real quick. There we go. Let me share this. All right. We talked yesterday about not doing things differently, but actually needing to think differently. As Bob Proctor used to tell me, John, your problem. He said this to me. We sat down at breakfast one time. We were in the middle of Mississippi filming an infomercial. Bob sat down at breakfast and said, John, this is an easy fix. You have a mental problem. And I looked at Bob thinking I needed to maybe go check myself into the hospital. He says, no, relax. You have a mental problem in the way that you think. You need to think differently, not stop trying to do things differently. You need to think differently. How many of you have tried so many different things? You've tried going to other classes. You've gone to seminars. How many people have walked the coals? Who's walked the coals? Broken the boards, done all the good stuff, got all fired up, rah. And on Sunday night, you're unstoppable, right? You're calling your friends and family. Bernice, yes, good. Donato has done it. I think I've done the coals 3 or 4 times. Leroy has done it. And what happens? Monday morning, like gangbusters, we're up early, tearing it up, right? Wednesday, Thursday, maybe we sleep in a little bit longer. Within a week or two, right back to the same old thing. Why is that? Because we're not dealing with the root cause. The root cause is what we talked about yesterday, our paradigms, our mental habits that is in our subconscious program. I don't want to get too technical, but if any one of you follow, or if you don't, you want to follow these 3 individuals, Joe Dispenza, Greg Braden, and Bruce Lipton. They are the leading experts on the neuroscience. They will tell you that 96 to 98% of what you do, what I do, is already pre-programmed. And even though, yes, we think we have free will in our conscious mind, we have a subconscious mind that has been programmed over the years with these habits, with these paradigms, and they run the show. And until we develop the awareness to know that we actually have them, we're going to keep getting the same old results. And so the new model that we touched on yesterday was about starting to think differently and starting to work with something. One second, you guys. Starting to work with our higher mental faculties. We talked about using our imagination, deciding what we truly, really wanted, and then writing it out, having a goal, having our C-type goal, something you've never done before. And then we talked about how do we then go and build a powerful network of people. Now, I gave you 4 of the 7 steps yesterday. Let's just briefly review those 7 steps of how you can connect to anyone. This is something that I just recently spoke about. I just gave a TEDx talk. For those of you who haven't seen it, you can find that on YouTube. Brittany said, I just finished The Subconscious Mind. That is an amazing book by Joseph Murray. Excellent. Now, first step was make a decision. Who is it that you guys want to meet? I asked you to write a list of 10 people that you would love to meet, and then ask yourself, why do you want to meet them? If it's just to take that selfie and that photo and that's going to transform and change your life, bravo. Excellent. But, and thank you, Kimberly, for that compliment. She watched it today. Thank you. But if it's because you have some kind of vision or you have some kind of product or partnership that's going to transform and change the world, then make sure you're very clear about that. So who do you want to meet? Why do you want to meet them? Second step was do your research. Get to know the person. Find out what is really impactful and exciting and meaningful in their lives. Find out. Take the time to get to know them. You can find out so much about a person right now on social media, right? You can get to know everything about them. What are their likes or dislikes? Because why? Most of the people, I saw the names in here, right? You put Elon Musk, you put Oprah Winfrey, Les Brown. I even saw some people put Sonia in there. You want to meet them. They have reached the pinnacle of their career. They're at the top. They've got the fame. They've got the income that they want. And so you want to start to think about what is it that I could actually do that could, one, make an impact in their life and let them know that I would actually like to develop some kind of relationship, some kind of friendship with them. So start to do your research. And then step 3 was what I call the gatekeeper or gatekeepers, that one person removed, which is usually, right, the lawyer, the agent, the executive assistant, the manager. Start to get to know them. And then the second person removed. Start to work backwards, reverse engineer how you can get to this person. LinkedIn makes it so easy for you now. They they have put who do you know and that they know, then knows the person that you actually want to connect with. Now, I see a question from Kimberly about step number 2. If you can't find persons' dislikes and likes, Kimberly, I want to know who it is you would like to meet. I want you to put in the chat right now. Let's do this in real time because I know you can find it, Kimberly.
Actually, can we bring Kimberly on the screen?
Kimberly, come on up.
Kimberly, go ahead and unmute yourself. Kimberly.
Kimberly, you want to unmute yourself? Or if you could just, where are you, Kimberly? Oh, it says you're not allowed to unmute.
Let me.
Oh, now I can.
There you go. All right, Kimberly. Let's do this in real time. This was not planned, you guys, but hey, this stuff works and I can do it all day long. I love networking. I love connecting. I love building relationships. Kimberly, so who is the person you want to meet, for example?
So actually, John, I looked you up.
Well,
I looked you up. I was trying to find your likes and dislikes.
all
I
right.
saw that you liked a few things on Twitter for NASA, a few images from NASA.
Okay.
I saw your Instagram videos from Maldives where you were drinking, cocktails and coffee on the beach.
Right.
But there is really nothing that says, he loves coffee or he loves cookies or anything like that. And then I looked up a few other people and I noticed that most people really stick to their brand.
Right.
So they only have like graphics or images pertaining to their business. They don't really talk about their personal likes.
Right.
So how do you navigate that? I mean, fortunately, I could email Fernanda and be like, hey, what does John like? But, most of us don't have that person that we can contact.
Well, a couple things, Kimberly, and actually that is a great question. And you answered part of it right there. You can reach out to people. Obviously I'm engaged to Fernanda. She's my amazing fiance. You could simply send her a message, say, hey, by the way, what does John like? But what I would.
It did.
Okay, there you go. What I would do, Kimberly, is one, I would also, and thank you for looking me up and using me as example. I would go to my website and read about me. There's a short section in there about what's important to me and the organizations that I volunteer for. One of them is Starkey Hearing Foundation. So that's something very special to me, working with children. I volunteered for Free Arts for Abused Kids. That's another cause that I speak about openly for very personal reasons. And that is something there that means a lot to me. If you look at my Facebook, some of my posts, even on Instagram, you'll see me with people like Sonia. She means the world to me. And so people who are committed to help changing the world is something that's very dear to me. Bob Proctor is someone very dear to my heart, right? He is somebody that spent 60 years, Kimberly, teaching the same thing, helping the greatest teacher on human success and potential. So friendships are very important to me. You've also seen, if you saw me in the Maldives, right? You could probably figure out if you look at some of my other posts, I love to travel. And so I love traveling. I think if you dig a little bit deeper, you'll find that I grew up in Michigan. Obviously, went to school at the University of Michigan. I think you can find out that information on LinkedIn. So you want to use all the different platforms. And, and so you want to use all the different platforms to find out. I went to University of Michigan, and then I went to grad school. I went to University of Southern California. So those things are important to me. Education is important to me. You'll see a lot of my posts. Also, I'm very close to Les Brown. So motivation, people that are in that space are very important to me. I often reference and quote a lot of books, like obviously Think and Grow Rich, Neville Goddard, Power of Awareness, and one I'm going to talk about today, Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. So gathering the right kind of information and knowledge is important to me. Feeling is a Secret by Neville Goddard. These books are very important to me. So if you look across all kinds, that's why I say keep doing a lot of research, Kimberly, and just keep digging, right? And then sometimes it's as easy as what you just said. That Fernanda's my fiance, just simply reach out and ask. And I'm sure she gave you a whole list of what I like. Hopefully she didn't spend too much time on the dislikes, right? But she would have told you I love coffee. She would have told you I love traveling. She would have told you I love my friends. I've got a very amazing group of friends, Sonia, Onyx Singal, Alicia Little, Les, and just friendship's very important to me. And then helping people. And so that was a great question. Yeah, great hot seat. I didn't know that I was going to be the one in the hot seat, but thank you, Kimberly. So I hope that helps. Fernandez says, anyone I want to meet someone I don't know, no matter how famous, I always go to John. He's the master. That came from Sonia Riccati. Thank you. And yes, so great question, Kimberly. You just always keep digging, always keep digging. You can find something. Now, if it comes to somebody who is got much more celebrity status than me, sometimes it's simple as just Google it. You know, sometimes I'll put into Google someone I want to meet. What does, for example, what is Les Brown's favorite 10 things? You start to research. What are Oprah Winfrey's 10 favorite things? Elon Musk, what are the 10 things he likes, doesn't like? And you can do it that way. Now, back to what I was sharing. Just do your research on the person, do your research on those close to them, and then work on the second person removed, right? You're looking for that connection. I talked about earlier in step one, you have to be very clear. You have to have a goal. So if your goal is to meet Elon Musk, if your goal is to meet Oprah Winfrey, why is it? Be very clear about it and then get to work. Now, the fifth step, we'll talk, or actually the fourth one. And this is what made all the difference in the world for me. And I call this something I call little things for big connections. Bob Proctor. I sat there for 2.5 days in the back of a room, broken, listening to this man talk about shifting my paradigms. And I said, somehow, some way, I'm going to get this guy to teach me. I'm going to have a friendship with him. I'm going to be in his inner circle. I had no idea how I was going to do it. Didn't have any money. Certainly, Bob didn't need anything from me. But I sat there and was open to listening, to using my imagination. And what did I do? I listened to that man play one song for 2.5 days, a single song. I can see clearly now it's going to be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I will not sing it for you. I don't want you guys to leave the Zoom room or even log off of Facebook. Some of you might even cancel your account. I can see clearly now. And I said, this guy, he must know there's other music, but this song means something to Bob. And I wonder who sang it. And after the weekend was over, what did I do? I started my research, Kimberly, and all of you. And I looked it up, and it was Johnny Nash, and he was still alive. And guess what? No social media, none, no website, no contact information, but I was persistent. And that's what it requires, you guys. Don't give up. And I kept digging through Facebook and actually digging through Google. I think I went 3, 4, 5 pages deep until I found some kind of court case, some court thing that he had opened some kind of motocross stadium in Houston, Texas. And I looked through the court documents and found a phone number, called it up. Woman was very kind of aloof and distant, but obviously I got through talking to her, find out it was Johnny's wife. And Bob was turning 80 years old. I wanted to do something very special for him. Now, he doesn't even know me. And I said to him, ma'am, Bob Proctor, if you know him, huge fan of your husband, always plays his song, don't sue us for the royalty. If I send you an album, would you get him to autograph it for Bob for his 80th? Absolutely. And so I got my $5 album on eBay, made it very simple. So when you guys do get the opportunity, because the opportunities will come, make it as easy as possible. I sent everything, postage, pen, tape, the cardboard to ship it back. And then I got that thing framed and I got it to Bob's next event. And guess what happened? We're going to talk about it today. This thing, I call it the committee, kicked in. My self-image and self-confidence were in the toilet. Who are you? What are you doing? This is dumb. All this nonsense, noise, and negativity. I left that at the front desk and I jumped in my car and I got the heck out of there. And luckily, Brian, his son, hunted me down through some friends. And an hour later, he called me and said, Dad would like you to come back. And that was the start of a beautiful mentorship and friendship. Yeah, and that's what's possible, you guys, when you actually start to open your heart and really think about what is important to other people. I was very blessed to see him last November. Actually, Sonia and I were able to talk to him as well, but I was able to go see him in person in November, and he gave me a tour of the new house. He had his house remodeled. That framed photo sits in his bathroom. And he said, John, I think of you every single morning. And that is what's possible when you apply these things. So do your research, find out what's important to people. Step number 5 is then you make the approach. How do you approach people? There's 3 different strategies. Kimberly just said it. You can ask somebody who knows the person, right? Can you make an introduction? I call that kind of the inner circle strategy. There's the outer circle strategy, which by having done your research, you know somebody, maybe you know Vernice, who knows Anne Monroe, who knows Elon Musk. You do your research and find out, and you ask for an introduction that way. And then the third one, which is the easiest, but our mindset sometimes tells us it's the most difficult, is you just ask directly. Put yourself in position to ask. When I met Les Brown, He was speaking at an event. I used to go to all kinds of events. Why? Because I want to surround yourself with the people that you want inside of your network. And what did I do? I just walked up to him, said, Mr. Brown, I am a huge fan. My grandmother loved you dearly, made me listen to you every Sunday. And guess what he said? What are you doing tomorrow morning for breakfast? You just never know. Always be open. And I went down there the next morning expecting a huge entourage. Mr. Brown, Les was sitting there by himself. That led to a partnership, a friendship. Les is actually now my client. I've made him millions of dollars. And that's what's possible. Just ask, right? Sometimes it's as simple as ask and you shall receive. Now, step number 6, I have a lot of information I want to cover today, you guys. So step number 6 is, what did I say? Persistence. It doesn't say be a pest. It says be persistent. And that's why I said over the course of the next 12 months, you want to continually do things, continually update yourself on what the person's doing, the connections, and always be refining how you want to approach them and what you can do, the little things for the big connections that you can come up with. And then step number 7, once you build that relationship, you want to be able to maintain it. This is not about manipulation. It's about building a relationship. That's not expecting anything in return. Now, I was perfectly okay if I never heard from Bob Proctor. When I dropped that thing off, you know what? I left there knowing that, you know what? I'm certain it'll get to him, and I know it'll make an impact, and it'll put a smile on his face. Did I want something to happen? Absolutely. But I was okay if it never did. That's the place you want to get as you go to meet these kind of people and want to build these partnerships and relationships. You have to be okay if it doesn't happen. Why? Because your goal, the C-type goal that we talked about yesterday, is not dependent on anyone. It's not dependent on John Tallarico, Bob Proctor, Les Brown, anybody outside of you. You are in complete control of your own personal economy. You are in complete control of your financial freedom and a happier life. And so don't be attached to the how it has to happen. God will fill in the details. And so you want to maintain it. Recognize them on their birthday. Send them a simple text. Do things if they have a new baby, any kind of thing. Send them something that's personally engraved for their new baby, something like that. Important events that are happening. Maintain that friendship. And so those are the 7 steps to connect to anybody. Now, let's go back for a minute to yesterday. I asked you all a question. What is it you really want? How many of you, and I want to hear in the chat, how many of you wrote out a C-type goal last night? I want to see, we've got a lot of people. And I want to see, I did, Brittany, congratulations. Abby did. Channing did. Who else? This chat should be filling up, you guys. And if it didn't, I want you to recognize the paradigms that creeped in. Bernice has one, great. We talked yesterday about using your imagination. I encouraged you after we finished last night to dream again, to start to think about what is it that you truly, really want, not what you think you can get. What would you love to have? Maybe it's an income goal. Maybe it's an impact goal. Maybe it's a relationship goal. Beautiful, Mina, great job, Lakshman. LS, you lost sound. Everyone can hear me still well. Sean Walker did it, great. And so when you do that, you start to get emotionally involved in what you want. You start to dream again. So if you didn't do it, I want to encourage you to do it tonight. What is that burning desire in your heart? Not what you think you can get, but what you truly, really want. And if you didn't, I want you to raise your hand and ask why you did not. And if you feel like sharing in the chat, let me know. For me, sometimes it's those paradigms, those habits kick in, right? Well, I got busy, watching TV, maybe you're on social media. Recognize and notice what happens when it comes to talking about and actually taking action on your goals and dreams. The paradigms will fight you. They will fight you. They are insidious. They will try to stop you. Bernice says, why do I feel so much brain fog? That's a great question, Bernice. We'll get to that in a second. It is, let me just answer it now, Bernice. As you get clear, Bernice, as you take the time to use, we talked about your 6 higher mental faculties, right? Your imagination. As you get clear and then you write it down, Bernice, in a very specific way. I learned this from Bob. I am so happy and grateful now that I am. Fill in the blank, Bernice, and put a date to it. And then you use what? The other one of those 6 higher mental faculties was your will, the ability to focus on one thing to the exclusion of all others. When you get very clear on that C-type goal, Bernice, then you'll become unstoppable. And that's what all our clients do. When they work with us for 6 months, lesson number 1, a worthy ideal. What is it, Bernice? What is it, Cynthia? What is it that Lakshman wants, truly, really wants? We get you clear. Because if you can tell me what you want, I'll show you how to get it. And over the course of 24 weeks, that's what we do. Bernice, go ahead. You want to ask? Go ahead, Bernice. Fire away.
Oh, no, you have completely answered it. And I thank you because I started on a path after you and I had our one-on-one, and I literally like put some things in place. And I think I need to be a little more clear. But what happened is it's like I'll work during the day. And when I work, it's like everything is just happening and I don't have any structure. And I'm thinking that I need to have more structure in order to get some of those goals done, because that
Yes.
fog just comes and it takes my whole day and it's like nothing's done.
Right. Great question, Bernice, and thank you for sharing. You're absolutely right. What is heaven's first law? Heaven's first law is order. We have to have order in our life, and we have to have order in our thoughts and our thinking. And so when you get very clear, Bernice, and you pick that one goal, a C-type goal, we can only focus on one thing at a time. Then all this other noise starts to fall away. And then you start to develop a stronger use of your willpower. And you say, what am I doing with my time today? And then you start to look at your activities. So if I were to come over there, Bernice, and spend the day with you today, and I asked you, show me your C-type goal. Let's say it was an income goal. You want to earn $250,000 by the end of the year. And I came down there today, Bernice, and we went through your day today and looked at what you did. How much of what you did is in alignment with someone who makes $250,000? And right, you're shaking your head. And this is a great awareness exercise for all of you. You want to wake up tomorrow. I want you to chart and write down every 15 minutes what you do, and then compare that to what you say your C-type goal is. This is the paradigm, Bernice, and for all of you, these are the paradigms. They are your mental habits that cause you to stay stuck. You want some order in your life, you guys? Look behind Channing Gardner, if you guys can see her on the screen, and her board behind her. She's got that thing all mapped out and all charted out. Great job, Channing. And so the fog lifts as we get very clear about what we want. Again, we talked about those 6 higher mental faculties. Use your imagination, dream again. And then we work on using our will. Remembering to use our reason, the ability to choose the right kind of thoughts, right? We're working on going from, Bob used to tell me, John, the only issue in the world is ignorance. And what is ignorance? It's not knowing. It's the wrong information. And what are we moving toward? We're moving toward wisdom. We're moving toward, what is wisdom? It's applied knowledge, but the right kind of knowledge. And that knowledge is what? It's knowing who you are. It's knowing that, and look, everyone, the philosophers, the theologians, the scientists can all disagree about everything except one thing, right? That we become what we think about. So there is call it a thinking stuff floating around the inner spheres of the universe. It's everywhere, omnipresent, it's everywhere. We have the ability to originate a new thought, or in each moment to choose a thought. And as we talked about yesterday, if we follow this new model of building a network, if we follow this new model of income creation and goal achievement, we start with our thinking. Our thoughts create the ideas. We build the fantasy. We get emotionally excited and involved in that, which causes us a new kind of feeling. What? Excitement, joy, happiness. That causes us to raise our vibration, raise our frequency, and we start to act in a certain way. And guess what happens? Everything works by law. Action, reaction. You start acting a different way, and guess what happens? The law of attraction works in this way, right? It's actually a secondary law to the law of vibration. You raise your vibration and you start to attract the things that you're looking for. Everything you're seeking is seeking you. And I use that diagram of the radio station. We're moving from what we don't want to what we want. Just as if you change the channel in your car when you listen to music you don't like. The other channel's already there. It doesn't suddenly find Sean in some new city and then somehow beam its way in through her car and into the speakers. It's already there. So what we do is we help connect you to that right kind of frequency. That gives you a new result. And that when you understand this model, it's complete freedom, right? 2 things you need to know to live the dream life, where you are today, where you want to go. We have to have that goal. Now, if it's so easy, I shared yesterday, why are so many people stuck? The answer's in the paradigms, those mental habits which are habitual in nature. We have to override and reprogram ourselves with new paradigms, with new habits. Guess what happens? All right, John, I'm all excited. Day 1 was great. I'm starting to think about who I want to meet. And then guess what? I'm getting ready to go do it. And boom, what happens? This thing kicks in. We run dead smack into the terror barrier. Now, this is how most people live their life. If you can see this chart, over in a state of bondage. And what is that? It's that they just go through the motions of life, kind of tiptoeing to death, hoping they never wake up anybody. including their goals and dreams. They never entertain that it could be any other way because they're living from the program, right? The 40-40 plan, work for 40 years and then retire. You can finally go do that, take that dream vacation for 2 weeks. And guess what? They keep getting the same results over and over again. Now, some people start to use their reasoning mind. They're still living from their 5 sensory factors. They briefly maybe see an ad on Facebook. They see something driving. They entertain an idea for a brief fleeting minute. Oh, that sounds nice. And then it passes. They don't get emotionally involved because they don't believe that they can have it. All of you here and all of you watching on Facebook, you start to develop an idea. You listen to me and you say, okay, John says, try it this way because my way hasn't been working. I'm going to get excited. I'm going to create a C-type goal. Wow. I'm going to write down, I want to earn $1 million. And then I'm going to get emotionally involved in that. But guess what? My belief system, my self-image does not believe that I deserve it. So what happens? Even though I tell myself I'm going to earn $1 million, I get excited about it. I'm in a internal battle, a conflict between what I want and the old programming of what I believe I can achieve. And guess what happens? We run dead smack into that terror barrier. We say, I want to meet Mark Cuban or somebody like this. The opportunity presents itself, but then we don't really believe that we deserve it. And we're either going to bounce right back because we give up, because we don't have that right kind of self-image, or we're going to do what I'm going to teach you how to do today and blast right through to a land of freedom, to everything that you want, to draw upon yourself. As Andrew Carnegie says, in those moments, in those dark moments, you will meet your other self, full of confidence and courage that you never thought were possible. Now, I had 3 of you, the 3 people I mentioned earlier, several of you mentioned in the chat for the neuroscience, Dr. Joe Dispenza, phenomenal, Bruce Lipton, and Greg Braden. They are absolutely amazing people that you should be studying. Now, self-image. So how do we develop a self-image of somebody who actually believes that they can go meet Mark Cuban, Elon Musk, Les Brown? Well, I am a big believer, and I study this book constantly. It's called Psycho-Cybernetics. Fernanda, if you could put it in the chat, by Maxwell Maltz. He wrote this in the 1960s. Maltz was a plastic surgeon, and he said the self-image is the key to human personality and human behavior. Change your self-image, and you change the personality and the behavior. I believe this is the core of why we don't have the results that we want in our life. What I learned by reading and studying Maltz's book is that we have 2 self-images, the one that we project to the outside world, and then the one that we actually live with when no one's watching, the one that can't look themselves in the mirror, the one that's, thinks that they have the imposter syndrome, the one that thinks about they don't have anything of value to offer to the world. And the great news is that is a false self-image. It has been put there by the external programming over the years. So Maltz shares with us ways to actually override and change that self-image. Now we have within us a cybernetic mechanism, much like a guidance system on a missile, right? And what happens when it starts to deviate from course, when the autopilot on a plane deviates from course, what happens? The self-image brings it back on course. Your paradigms will bring you back on course. The minute you start to grow and stretch and say, I want something more, what's going to happen? Those old paradigms and habits are going to try to bring you back. We have to have the ability to recognize it and then override it by creating a new self-image. A self-image of what? Someone who's confident, someone who has great self-confidence, someone who's certain, who's very clear, and someone who's very calm. James Allen's book, As a Man Thinketh, if you haven't read that, there's a great chapter on there on serenity. You want to calm yourself down for the next week, find that book, write out the chapter on serenity. It'll take you 20 minutes. He talks about calmness of mind as one of the jewels of wisdom, the true jewels of wisdom. It is developed through long and patient efforts in what? Self-control. We have to be able to control our thinking to get the results that we want. And so we have to work on creating a self-image. Jung said, I'm not what is happened to me. I am what I choose to become. We use our reasoning factor to develop the awareness, to recognize the old habits and paradigms, the limiting self-image. And then now we're going to go and create a new self-image. In order to do that, how do we do that? We have to know who we are. Most of us think we're our name, Diane, Raleigh, Hope. Someone says, who are you? Oh, my name is Hope. Oh, that's just your name. Actually, you saw tonight during class, we can actually change your name on the screen. And we had some of you change that for us. Or he says, I talk too fast. Sorry, you guys, I have a lot of information I want to share with you. I appreciate your time. I'm just trying to get to it all, Bernice. So if you have any questions, please let me know in the chat and I will take time to answer them, you guys. All right. A lot of us think we're our body. No, we moved into this body. We're going to move out of this body. Yes, Fernanda.
John, sorry, I think the question is, you mentioned 3 people
Mhm.
that they should study.
Yes.
Can you remind everybody what the 3 people,
Yes.
who the
I
3 people
just,
are?
yeah, I just had mentioned that again. It's Dr. Joe Dispenza, Greg Braden, and Bruce Lipton. All right. And so study their material, but actually right now I want you to focus here in understanding to develop the right self-image, to develop the right kind of goals, the right kind of network of people. You have to know who you are, and who you are is a spiritual being created in pure perfection with an intellect, right? The ability to reason, the ability to think, the ability to set C-type goals and get emotionally involved in those goals. And then with a physical body, you live on 3 separate planes to then act out what it is that you truly, really want. Now, you are a spiritual being, I said, right? 100% evenly present in all places and all the same times. Nothing is either created or destroyed. Everything's already here in one form or another. And so if that's the case, so is whatever you're seeking. So is whatever you want. Now, your spiritual DNA is perfect. This thing has clouded it up. Our self-image, that false self-image I talked about, the one that tells us that we're not good enough, the one that tells us that we don't have anything of value, the one that tells us maybe we should give up, that we have to rely on hope, simple hope and wishing rather than knowing. Your spiritual DNA is perfect. It needs no modification or improvement. That's why when all my clients say, John, what do you think my problem is? I said, you don't have a problem. You have a challenge. And let's work on the challenge and get you through it. It's all knowing, all powerful, ever present. It is the real you. Ask yourself this question. Are you truly what or who you pretend to be? And then let's work on creating the right kind of self-image for you guys. I love this quote. This is Bill Gove. It says, if I want to be free, I've got to be me. Not the me I think you think I should be. Not the me I think my wife, Beyonce, thinks I should be. Not the me I think my kids think I should be. But if I want to be free, I've got to be me. So I better know who me is. And that is someone who is a spiritual being with unlimited potential, the ability to do anything. Even the most brilliant scientist has no idea of what you're capable of. Now I have some, let me just go briefly through, actually quickly through these slides for the sake of time, you guys. We have been programmed, and we can program ourselves for success, or we can program ourselves for failure. And Maxwell Maltz talks about these questions. And he says, how does failure look like? How do we program ourselves for failure? And so frustration is one way that you will guarantee that you will not get what you want. It'll cause you to have a self-image of somebody who is always in a victim mood, of anger, of resentment, of blaming other people. Aggressiveness, right? We get aggressive. We blame other people. We snap at people as we're driving. We live on edge all the time. Insecurity, not trusting the universe, not trusting the fact that everything works by law. And if I can just get very clear on what I want and do things in a certain way, I can have whatever I want. Don't worry, you guys, about reading that. We'll make this available later on. Loneliness, thinking that you guys are in this all by yourself. We're all in this together. We all came from one place. We're going to transition to another place. But while we're here, we're all in this together. So let's help each other out. And uncertainty, not being clear on what is it that you truly, really want. Resentment. Sometimes we resent other people for their success, right? Thinking that they somehow, we are doing all the work and somehow everything they seem to touch turns to gold. Well, no, they just have a different self-image. So let's make sure that we align yourself with the right self-image to get you what you want. And a feeling of emptiness, like that you don't have any contribution. This one is not a good place to be. How many of you, I know for myself, this is where I used to be. I used to actually have a lot of these, and I could see why I was getting the results in my life that I was. I had programmed myself not knowing for failure. And then here's the great news. Maltz then says, guess what? Here's the good part. If we can program ourselves, we can also program ourselves not for failure, but for success. We can create a self-image of success. And how do we do that? Sense of direction. You have to know where you're going. You have to have a goal. Remember, that C-type goal that you all are writing out and have written out is an actual place that has a certain frequency and a certain vibration. Comprehension of how everything works. Everything works by law. Those two guys who actually mastered the sky in the early 1900s in Dayton, Ohio, they weren't mechanical engineers or aeronautical engineers. They were bicycle mechanics. but they found a way to work with the law. And now we've mastered the sky, right? Courage. When you hit that terror barrier, the ability to bust through, to know that you can actually call on deep reservoirs of talent and ability and break through that terror barrier. Charity, knowing that the more you give, the more you receive, knowing that the more you continue to help other people and always leave people with the impression of increase, that the more you will get in return. Self-esteem, feeling good about yourself, knowing that you have something of value. We call it the million in you, knowing you have that one unique thing that you do better than anyone else on the planet. And self-confidence. We can develop and build our self-confidence. All of our clients, we have them read the self-confidence formula from Think and Grow Rich. I love the quote on the bottom there, right? Edison said, I haven't failed 10,000 times. I've not failed once. I've succeeded in proving that those 10,000 ways will not work. And self-assurance, right? Having an accurate self-image of yourself, that you are the spiritual being created in pure perfection, that you have the ability in each and every moment to choose certain thoughts, that you can program yourself for success, and then you can act out on that each and every day. Now, one thing I would encourage you to do is create a self-image vision board. Ways to develop a stronger self-image. Work on and read the self-confidence formula each and every day from Think and Grow Rich. The second thing you can do is create a self-image vision board. Choose characteristics of the people that you like, that you want to incorporate into your self-image. Remember, you can never outperform how you truly really feel about yourself on the inside. So let's create a self-image of somebody that is committed, passionate, loyal, faithful, dedicated, willing to die for their cause because they knew they were dying for what they didn't want. Honesty, commitment, dedication. Find the characteristics in people that you don't have to necessarily like the whole person, and then create a vision board like I did to help your self-image and look at that every day. Whew. Now, I know that's a lot of information. I wanted to make sure I covered a lot of this for you guys today. Now, I want to ask you a question. What is the one thing that's holding you back? Let me know in the chat what you think it is. Is it a lack of clarity on what you do? You having trouble with your C-type goal, figuring out what you're really here to do, your purpose? Is it your mindset? Is it that you don't have the right network and you're not in the right environment? Or is that you don't have accountability? Let me know. Brain says clarity. All right, great. Mindset, Bernice says, let me know in the chat, you guys, for all of you. Network, excellent. What else? Mindset, Mina says. Nothing now. Leroy says, I'm full throttle thanks to TIR. For those who don't know, TIR is actually our coaching program. It's our 6-month program called Thinking. Not hoping, wishing. It's called Thinking into Results. It's not like procrastinating into results. It's not like, when's it going to happen in results? It's thinking into results. Leroy is one of our clients and achieving amazing results in record time. Lakshman says the right kind of network. Sean says clarity and network. Anne Monroe, process of execution. Aaron, accountability and environment, right kind of network. All right. So I want to ask you guys a question. I want you to know and let me know in the chat what it would be worth to you to have me help you, to have one of Bob Proctor's top consultants, I like to say one of the world's greatest connectors to help you get clear on what you want, to help you build that powerful network, to help you create the right kind of mindset, to have you and hold you accountable. Somebody who's worked with people like Les Brown and Bob and Sonia and Onyx Singal, Damon John and Grant Cardone and many others. To have somebody that I shared yesterday, our clients, the businesses we work with and our clients have generated over $50 million. What would it be worth to you to have someone point you in the right direction, to hold your hand? And how much more would you be able to make this year? Let me know in the chat what that would be worth to you. Unmeasured, Channing says. Invaluable, Akash says. Thank you, Akash. And so I want to invite you to something, and I want you to ask yourself a question. Where are you going to be in 6 months from now? Priceless, Pamela says. You can't put a price on it. Invaluable, Arroyo says. It's time that we do something different, right? The world has been a crazy place the last few years, a lot of emotional stress, and people are feeling frustrated and fed up. So it's time we get moving. Let's put an end to all that doubt and worry, and let's get you moving. Let's show you how to build the right kind of network by developing the right kind of thinking, the right kind of clarity on your goal and your messaging, and then build that powerful network and get you moving, achieving results in quantum and making quantum leaps in your life. Now you have two options. You can do it yourself, trial and error. You can come back here in a few months. We do these classes every month or so, and things are probably going to be the same or even a little worse. Or you can let somebody who's done it help you do it together. We can do it together. And so what I want to do now, stop sharing my screen. I want to invite you guys, for those of you who are interested, to become part of our 6-month program, our coaching program. It's the Million in You coaching program. Several clients of ours are on here. I see Leroya, Donato, Pamela, obviously. Who else is in here? A lot of our clients are here. What we do is we spend 24 weeks together where we work every week as a group, and we make sure that we get you very clear in your C-type goal. We then start to work with you on understanding the marvelous, miraculous mind. We help you get through those paradigms, rewrite and override those paradigms. We work with you on developing the right kind of self-image, understanding the right way to set goals is to use these 6 higher mental faculties that you've been gifted with. Work on developing yourself as a leader, always leaving people with the impression of increase, overcoming fear and procrastination, working on understanding the power of the mastermind, holding you accountable. And then what are we going to do? For those of you this week, I'm going to do something very special. We're going to get together on the phone, one-on-one, just you and I, every month for the next 6 months, one-on-one. Once a month, we'll get together and meet, and I'll make sure that you're staying on the right path. I don't do one-on-one coaching. I don't have one-on-one clients, but I'm willing to do this for you because I want to get you guys going. On top of that, for those of you who take action today, I'm doing a live event. It's my first live event ever, September 10th in Atlanta. It will be myself teaching. It's called Breakthrough. We're going to help you break through those limiting beliefs and paradigms. And I have a very special guest speaker, Mr. Les Brown. I want to talk about building a network. These are the kind of things that you can do when you have that right kind of network. Les Brown is going to be our guest speaker, and you're going to get 2 tickets, our diamond tickets, which are $300 each, to come and be one of our VIP clients, attendees, and then have lunch with Les and myself. You're going to get to be able to ask Les any kind of question you want. And that is taking place September 10th. So for those of you who take action today, we're going to give you that very special gift. Now, if you want to find out more information about it, Fernanda's going to put the link in the chat. We would love to have you inside of our program. It is absolutely life-changing. It is what I love to do. It is what has allowed us to help hundreds of people all over the world in 26 countries. And so, Fernanda, if you'll put that link in the chat for our 6-month program, for some of you, you may want to speak to myself or Fernanda even, or the team, and you have maybe some other questions. Maybe the terror barriers kicking in, right? The paradigms are like, uh-oh. Bob used to tell me one thing. He said, John, if you don't invest in yourself, do you really deserve to win? Because we'll always find a way to buy things that we want. We'll always find ways to get what we want. And yet when it comes to investing in ourselves, we usually put ourselves last. So if those paradigms are kicking in right now, the committee's talking to you saying, book a call with us. Fernanda will also put a link. We can get on the call tomorrow and help walk you through, make sure that it's a great fit. We're going to guide you and show you and share with you how we're going to get you from where you are to where you want to be. I promise you, Leroya can testify. We have a few other clients in here that can testify. You will need a telescope to look back to see who the person you were. So I want to extend that opportunity to offer you the opportunity to really transform and change your life, and let us help you do that. All right. And so Fernanda put okay, you'll find the link in there to join our program for those of you who are ready. Want to reward those people who take back action. And then again, a reminder, one-on-one for the next 6 months. You can get on the call with me for one-on-one. And we're going to invite you, 2 diamond tickets to our breakthrough event, September 10th in Atlanta. All right, now back to what we're talking about today, self-image. So as I said earlier, each day builds on the other. So yesterday we talked about connecting to what? The foundation, the right kind of thinking, knowing that you are in charge of your results, that you live from the inside out. Get clear on what you want, write out your C-type goal. For those of you who did not do that, I want you to do that tonight. What is it that you truly, really want? And then 3, how do we build a powerful network of joint ventures of people that we can partner with and exchange ideas, information, and help propel us to the next level? How do we do that? We've talked about those 7 steps to connect to anybody. Now that we do that, the paradigms kick in, the self-image kicks in, the false self-image. So today we talked about how to override and change that and program ourselves for success, that new self-image, using the cybernetic mechanism for success. And then tomorrow, we're going to talk more about decision and then taking action. How do you take massive action? How do you make a committed decision and get yourself moving? And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Fernanda and I are going to be sharing with you. We're also going to answer any questions you have. If you have any questions about networking, if you have any questions about business, come ready tomorrow to ask away. And again, a reminder, do that homework exercise. I promise you, when you complete that, something's going to shift inside of you. Something will really shift. Again, Kimberly, excellent job on doing that. Look forward to having those of you who are ready to take action and quickly change your life, joining us in our 6-month program. For the rest of you, if you want to talk and find out more about it, please book a call with myself and Fernanda and Pamela and let us help you. Let us really talk you through about how we can help you change your life and get results. All right, I think that is it for today, you guys. Really, I know we went a little bit longer than I planned. I want to share. I just love this information. I love teaching it. I know what it's done for me personally. I know what it's done for my clients, and I know what it can do for you. So homework, get your workbook, take action, join us in the coaching program or book a call with us. And that is it. I think I'm going to turn it back to Fernanda for a second. I will see you all again tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And Fernanda, I think if you have any last closing comments, again, I appreciate you guys very much. Have a great night, everyone. Fernanda, if you are going to come back on.
Yes, I'm here.
All right,
That
take
was
it away.
phenomenal. Today's session was so amazing that I think, John, that we should probably do another kind of like interactive session tomorrow. So we can do that. We can select a person randomly from tomorrow, and you can have a session so they can work with you in how they can get to the person that they desire. What do you think?
I agree. I think that let me just bring the spotlight.
I think everybody
That's a great,
loved it so much.
great idea. Great idea, Fernanda. I love what we did with Kimberly. We'll do that tomorrow again as well. If you want to be in the hot seat, you have some questions about your business, about why you're not getting the results, come back tomorrow. I want to see all of you here tomorrow. We're going to talk about decision and taking action, but also let's open it up again, Fernanda. Let's have that real-time hot seat for some of you, okay?
Yes,
I want to see all of you back
so
here
make sure
tomorrow.
that you come back tomorrow, 5 o'clock our time, Pacific time, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Make sure that you're here on time. And also make sure that you turn in your homework by tomorrow, because we are going to have a winner for that $1,000 group coaching program. So if you are a coach, if you want to be a coach, if you want to have the opportunity to win a $1,000 group coaching program, absolutely for free, just for showing up for yourself, really just do your homework, show up tomorrow, come back, and you may also be the lucky winner of that one-on-one hot coaching session that we did today. So if you really enjoyed that and you want to have that opportunity, come back and see us tomorrow. We're also going to have a Q&A tomorrow. So if you have had questions that John did not touch on today, I know that he was trying to answer a lot of questions as he was going, but if your question is still not answered, make sure that you bring it tomorrow. We are going to have a time section specifically for questions. We want to make sure that all of your questions are answered by the end of the session tomorrow. If you want to watch the replay, because the session was extra valuable today, so if you want to watch the replay, make sure that you do that. You can do that by texting back the number if you have received the text messages, or YouTube or Facebook. And the recordings are gonna stay for about a week before we take them down. If you have any questions about our 6-month group coaching, please don't hesitate to reach out to any one of the people that have mentioned in the chat that they have been clients of ours. I'm sure they'll be happy to share with you the amazing results that they have gotten. And if you want to have a call with us, make sure that you also click on that link and you can have a call with us. Otherwise, if you're ready to take action, and I know somebody just took action and I want to congratulate. Let me see if I can see, was it? Try Anne, congratulations, Anne. Welcome to our Million in You family, congratulations as our first official client. I want to acknowledge this because she took action while we're on this call. John, are you here?
Well, I am here, and congratulations, and welcome, Ann. Really super excited, and I want to reward you. Yes, you're going to get 2 tickets to the event in Atlanta, September, and I want to reward you for taking action first. I'm going to cover your hotel room on that Saturday night, September 10th. So that is something I just came up with that. For those of the rest of you, take action now. Join us, and I'll happy to do the same for you. But Ann, welcome to the family. We're super excited to have you.
Wow. And if you guys didn't know anything else about John, he is very generous. He is very generous indeed. And so welcome, Ann. I'm very excited that you took action. Really, this is going to be transformational for you. I cannot wait to see where your life is going to be in 6 months and beyond. And so this is only the beginning. Congratulations. And for all of you, if you have any questions, please make sure that you come back tomorrow. Again, if you have any questions about the homework, reach out to us and we can help you with that. And also, if you turn in your homework, we can also give you feedback on it. All right, have a wonderful rest of your night, everybody. I am super excited about being here and providing so much value today. Really, the session was phenomenal and I can wait for tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.